Alright, so today we're going to be talking about a very interesting turtle species. Now, you guys know that I have a little under 2-year-old eastern spiny softshell right here. Softshell turtles, more specifically the eastern spiny, are just extremely interesting turtles. They're just like unlike any other turtle, and you can see very feisty, and she likes to bite. They are every bit as aggressive as a turtle. Now, males usually get anywhere between 5 to 9 inches. You know, they're actually smaller than sliders. Now, females, like she is, will get anywhere between 6.5 inches to a big whopping adult female, just like this girl here. So here we have an adult. We're gonna get her measurement right now. They can get anywhere between, like I said, 6.5 to 18 inches. And she's about riding right about 13.5 inches. So she actually has a couple inches more to grow. I've caught a softshell bear in this one, but it's pretty unlikely to find any big adult smaller than this. The average is about 15 inches, 20 inches being a really big adult. But here we have the little one versus the adult, and as you can see, they get huge. This is why softshell turtles are not at all good for turtle owners unless you're really going to get into the hobby and you're serious about taking care of them. Because this turtle here is a fraction of the size as a sulcata tortoise, but to be honest, it's harder to care for these as it is a big 200-pound tortoise, believe it or not. So the reason why they're called spiny softshells is, you can see here on the little girl, right here there's some, since it's smaller, they look more like bumps. But as they get bigger, this one has almost none. They can range between big spikes that come off the shell to almost very little. She has very little, but they have these little kind of bumps that come off the shell. Now, like I said, they can be huge spikes, and there can be very little. Another way to identify whether it's a eastern spiny or a midland smooth softshell is the yellow in the front. You can see it has a lot of yellow patterning on the sides and kind of by the neck, and on the plastron here it's like a cream color. Midland smooth softshells are more whiter cream color all around. They don't have a lot of color pattern. They can range, they can have some spots on their shell. They do fade a lot, so this one here's about average. They're not super colorful turtles. They're definitely not a turtle that a lot of people would find attractive because they've got that big old pig nose and their lips are like upturned and you can see their beak, which I think is cool, but other people don't think that's, they think that's kind of ugly. Now these turtles, since she's not a full grown, she's gonna lay probably around 15 to 20 eggs. They lay eggs between March and August, or that's when they hatch. They lay eggs, or they hatch between August and October. They lay eggs between March and August, and they can lay anywhere between 4 to 35 eggs in a clutch, and they can actually lay more than one clutch a year, which is pretty amazing. So these guys definitely reproduce a lot. The unfortunate thing is very little of the babies survive because they don't have the hard shells like sliders or snappers do. Pretty much anything can eat them until they're about half this size. Then it's went down to raccoons, coyotes, dogs, stuff like that. More of the bigger predators rather than fish. Their diet consists mostly of fish. These are river turtles. However, you will find them in ponds and lakes. You won't really see these guys in swamps that much because they really need clean, fresh water with high vegetation to keep the water nice and aerated. Another extremely interesting fact about these guys is you can see their lips are super puffy. And the reason why that is because when they're buried under the sand or the muck, in the river or the pond, and they're waiting for a fish, but they need a breath of air, they can actually filter through water through those lips, and they can actually take out the oxygen molecules and particles and stuff in the water and absorb that, which is amazing. They have been created to they're just amazing animals, for short. You can see these massive claws in the back. If you will show them. Oh, that wouldn't be good dropping them, but you can see the massive claws in the back. Those are sharp. They can dig through sand, muck, dirt, gravel. If you have one as a pet, you want to have a sand substrate. You don't want anything grittier than that. Rocks, that's a no-go. And you can tell between a male and a female. You can see the tail. They actually have pretty chunky, lengthy tails, and they actually kind of look like their heads, which is a kind of a defense mechanism in nature. But the male's tails are super thick. They're actually pretty long, or longer than this. Female's tails, where they lay the eggs is almost at the very tip of the tail. Like, there's just a tiny bit of tail right here. The rest of it is just the cloaca and where they lay the eggs and everything. Their beaks, they don't have bites as powerful as snappers, but their beaks are a lot more sharp. So they can do just about the same damage as a snapping turtle. You definitely do not want to get bit by this turtle. You hold them. I don't suggest holding them by the side like this, because if they really had to, they could reach their neck around. Their neck can come out about to like right here. And see if we can get her to do that. See how long that neck is? Yeah, you don't want to get bit by that. That would ruin your day. But if you want to know more about this softshell turtle, make sure to Google just different softshell turtles, subspecies of softshells. The eastern spiny is actually more of the smaller scale on softshell turtles. The Florida softshell is the bigger when it comes to North American turtles. But these guys are definitely interesting animals. They're definitely one to be observed in the wild. You don't really, unless you're an enthusiast or you take notes on them. If you are more of a watch and learn person, I would suggest looking for them and just watching them instead of picking it up, because you seriously need to know what you're doing to handle one of these safely. So, hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions or comments about this video, I'd love to answer any questions that, or if you guys have, if I missed something about the eastern spiny, make sure to let me know. And as you can see, they're both very alert and active. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.